So, this presentation is way bigger than 10 minutes, so at each event that I go, I give like one little piece of it, and I'm like leaving pieces of the puzzle. They all end up on YouTube, and someday, 2 years from now, I'm gonna see like what an idiot I was, and the things I was thinking about. But basically my situation, what? Why did this take me out of the thing? All right, cool. My situation is like I'm a fish that learned how to breathe on land, right? I came out of Brazil, where social innovation means a completely different thing than it means here. Basically that there we have actual problems to fix with it, and here is mostly doing corporate fun interaction for people with lots of money, or at least that's how it feels to me. And I couldn't get in the game, because I don't have the language, I don't have the clothes, I don't have the behavior. Ich kann eigentlich kein Deutsch sprechen, das ist voll gut. Also ich kann ein Kebab zu kaufen, aber ich kann keine Werkstatt leiten. So fuck, I was dying on the vine and I had no money. And a guy from Brazil who did a lot of social innovation with me, where we did things that were completely different, like for real. And people, like completely different. It was not like just smiling more but doing the same. That's kind of how it feels to me here. I'm working for this company, and they built a thing called a DAO, and I was like, tech? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, fuck that. But I was still poor. So then I need to be forced to really push myself to understand this technology, to overcome my prejudices with what it meant to do things in this way, like I heard it so strongly in this room today. And that's why I want to assess that directly from a place of empathy and shared experience. Like what the DAO, right? So I'm going to go less about my personal life, but just to give a little context, right? My motivation to engage with the DAO is I could self-determine my work, I could measure it against the needs of a community, and I could decide how much I would get paid. All of these things, I had it in Brazil, and they were completely stripped away from me, and I was sucking up to social systems to try to get hired by companies that were working with the Deutsche Bank, so I could maybe get 1,000 euros twice a month, so I could pay my rent, and I was getting rejected by all of these groups because I'm too fucking weird. The DAO saved me, right? So this is important, because if you're struggling with the same problem, come over, right? So what the DAO, right? DAO is supposed to be a decentralized autonomous organization. It's supposed to be, because it's not, but we're gonna get there, right? So a tentative breakdown with a few grains of salt of the DAO, right? Because I know you guys are feeling it, I'm gonna try to go quickly about it. God damn it. All right, so decentralized. I call it D for debate because I haven't met a decentralized system yet. Every attempt of decentralizing something here creates a bottleneck of centralization down the line, because systems are within systems. So you have, if you're a systems thinker or a human systems thinker, you're going clearly to see the wave of central, decentral, central, decentral, central, decentral at each holon that you step further up. Right? So if you are trying to achieve holistic perspective, this falls apart in 2 seconds, and that's why we have to learn how to love the edge case. And when I say edge case, the entire blockchain industry at the moment is an edge case. So keep that in mind. Right? You are an edge case, and I love you because you're an edge case. Keep being an edge case. Don't be average. You're gonna fail. Right? So A for what? Is it autonomous, automated? Is it autonomy from a political science perspective, or it just means that the smart contract does its own thing? It's kind of complicated. So DAOs start to feel to me like a mirror, where people look at it and they project a bunch of crap in it, and then they write a Medium post. But they actually never proposed, never staked, never lived, never went through it, go to panel, say a bunch of things. So that was my challenge to Ela like 2 weeks ago. And that's why I was jumping when she said, you have to go through it, because I went, Ela, in the DGOV thing in Web3. Ela, it's all in your head still. Do it. Engage. It's more weird than you think. You know? You know, it's where... Where should I sign in? Okay. All right, so A for what, right? It's not completely automated, but I think I'm satisfied with the fact that it's a self-actuating contract. It's a magic contract, that magic money that lives in a contract, that does the thing that's written in a contract all by itself when a certain condition is reached. Does this make sense to everybody? Mm-hmm. So the example I like the most is when the future, your fridge broke. And your fridge has a smart contract, and you will go there in my smart contract with the fridge and say, I need somebody to fix it. And it sends a signal to everyone that has a tag, I can fix a fridge, right? And he comes over to your house. The fridge knows that it's not working. Once the fridge starts working, it takes the money from your account, send it to their account, and the guy doesn't necessarily have to be a fridge professional, and you don't even need a fridge fixing company, right? So this is an example of what interaction between oracles, Materium, contracts, dumb contracts, and smart contracts could be in the future. So all of society would be a giant decentralized gig economy without a rent-seeker middleman. This is a possibility, right? So smart contracts make sense now? Cool. So that's enough autonomy for me. But then the most troubling thing that everybody thinks is simple is the word organization. What the fuck is an organization? This makes absolutely no fucking sense. Is your family an organization? Is your company an organization? Is your department an organization? What defines the organization? What is the membrane maker? Is it the legal wrapper of the organization? What about all the voices in your head? Are they an organization? Right? So we need to start thinking in organisms, which are overlapping living systems that interact, feed, predate, and nourish each other all at the same time. It's cooperation, competition, and collaboration. And this is one word. We need one word for this, because then we can escape the binary necessity of language to separate things. And all the Buddhists in the house that want to bring new relational economy, blah, 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 the illusion of separation is the first danger. Binary thinking is the first danger, right? So that's why I want to talk about unlearning. So what is the update that we need to do in our heads to be able to actually operate in these new relationships? Because these, let's say, damaged economical relationships, they are in your clothes, they're in your shoe, they're in your eye, they're in your marriage, they're in the soap that cleans your skin, they're in the transportation systems that brought you here. So I would urge you to fail to believe that your desire to change things is enough, right? We are all somewhat guilty, and I do a daily meditation of thinking, I'm not better than Trump, I'm not better than Trump, I'm not better than Trump, I am not better than Trump. And so this is the cosmic idiot law. Does anybody ever heard about the cosmic idiot law? No? Robert Anton Wilson? Nobody likes him? Okay, cool. The cosmic idiot law is very simple. The more capable you are of conceiving of yourself as an idiot of cosmic proportions, the slower the likelihood that you actually end up being one. Or in a simple way, don't take yourself too seriously. Right? And this allows you to stop saying, I'm not tech, I'm social. This is a lie. Social is tech, tech is social. We need to break through this bullshit. And we need to embrace each other. We need to start inviting more, selecting less. Right? So what is this update that will allow us to enter the true age of participation in this new kind of fire? Right? So if decentralization is not real, automation is not real, and they're not organizations, should I be crying here? Is my life a lie? Did I throw away the last year of my life? No. Because any percentage increase in decentralization, any percentage increase in automation, any percentage increase in us seeing each other as a giant human organism is a revolution of Promethean scale. So this is my invitation. Allow this to drip into your life day by day. It's not about getting all of it in one conversation. It's just like, jump in the lake, bro. You know, that's it. Allow it to come in. Have this conversation with your lovers. Have this conversation with your friends. Have this conversation with your partners. Assume absolute ignorance and engage with childish joy. And propose something to some DAO. I don't even care what company. Boss, sorry. How am I doing with time? How's time going? So now there's a bunch of complicated parts about the next challenges, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to skip this right now, and then boom, a bunch of beautiful things are about to happen. But I want to stay here, right? So this invitation for us to be humble idiots together is what I want to do to this room. Because all of the people in this room are fucking bright, fucking interesting, and beautiful. And when I was growing up in Brazil, I dreamed that somewhere in the world, there was a group of people like this beautiful, this bright, and fucking amazing in a room thinking how to change the world. And I threw my entire life away to be here now, looking at you and saying, we're all idiots. Let's grow together, right? So I tried, my first project for DAO Stack was to try to put a book together. And I urge you completely to get this book. It's free, it's online. And we're talking about 4 levels of update. The personal level, the group level, the protocol level, and the society level. Which if you're into fractals and holograms like I am, is all just one thing. But language demands separation, right? So that's an illusion of language. We indulge in it, but we don't get fooled. That's what I'm trying to say. In this book, there's an article from Primavera de Felipe talking about the dangers and the disillusion of decentralization. So this is not a religious book. Actually, can you stand up? He has the shirt from the book. Dun, dun, dun,
perfect timing.
Yeah, it was amazing. Get the book. Read the book, and the book is not really apologetic. It's not trying to sell decentralization. It's just a curation of articles. Some are written for the book. Some are already out there. A lot of interesting people. And if you follow the references that I know because I put all the links by hand because I made a mistake in the design. If you look at the references, it's a fucking decentralization PhD like ready to be lived. So that's it. And then as a last seduction, articles are great, but they're not going to fix anything, right? Because it's still inside language. It's still binary. It's still, language is always referential. It's always by brushing against an idea that you build the other one. We need to do it, but we don't get fooled by it. And I still feel that our little ecosystem of decentralized conspirators is still a little bit too much a victim to the narcissism of small differences. So we have to do conferences, but we also have to throw more dinners and dance parties, right? So this is what I'm trying to do as well. And that's what the Fest DAO is, which is a DAO for decentralized organizing of small events that are low setup, high intimacy, and high interaction, right? And hopefully we'll cover the world with 400 little thingies and the occasional conference. But we need more little thingies. We need more DAO marriages or DAO polyamorous, I don't know, whatever you're into. But we need to make this an embodied movement and not only on-chain. And I think this is what's my calling in it. I think I'm done with time. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say is try to understand this, man. It's not easy. You need to live it. So come on, come to Genesis and get some money to do something. This is the only way you're going to actually understand how holographic consensus work. I don't have time to explain it. Pat did a great job. Actually, your talk is amazing. I want to invite you to speak at DAO Fests in the future. You're a very good speaker. You're incredible. I've never seen it before. And it's not because he's my boss. I give him shit all the time as well. Right? So we are on this journey to try to build hyperscalable, resilient, and relevant organizations. It's all right if you want to put 15 things on the blockchain. We want to support that as well. But this is kind of the calling that we have, mostly because this organization type doesn't exist yet. So we have an institutional opportunity for institutional revolution. So if you are like, oh shit, I feel like I hold a piece of this puzzle, please come be a part of my life and let's meet in the near future. Now I just want to show the fractals light because it's pretty cool. Wait.